Welcome to the setup and configuration of the AT-OCS-900N with our Omega switchers. Depending on the switcher, you will see some differences in the user interface, and we'll be looking at both in this video. But with functionality, it's exactly the same. First, you'll need to connect and set up your sensor. Check out the setup and configuration video in this series. Now, let's look at connecting our Omega switchers. From a browser window, connect to the IP address of your switcher. In order to connect to the OCS-900N occupancy sensor, you will need to make certain your switcher has the latest firmware. First, let's take a look at the SW510W and MS52. They both have the firmware 2.9.4. We will start by logging into our switcher and checking for the firmware. You can use the check button if you're connected to the internet, but I went ahead and downloaded 2.9.4 firmware, and so I'm going to manually update it. Now, the processing and updating will take up to about 5 minutes, so be patient. I have my system connected to a display, so when I see that it's rebooting, I'll come back online. While the MS52 is updating, I'm going to pop over to my MS42, which also connects to the OCS-900N. You'll notice it has a slightly different interface. So the update we will need for this will be under the System tab, and towards the bottom, you'll see Firmware. So I'm going to go ahead and start the update for the MS42, and then we'll take a look at both of the Omega switchers basically side by side. My MS52W is back up. Let's refresh the web interface, and you can see it needs me to log in again. Under System, the 2.9.4 firmware is the current version. Now, we have the ability to connect our Omega switcher to other occupancy sensors, but the difference is now we can connect to the OCS-900N directly. So under the Display tab, we will see the drop-down, and we're going to select Control Method, and we're going to select Occupancy Sensor. Next, we'll go to the Occupancy Sensor Control section. Turn Display on Occupancy and the Turn Display off on Vacancy will be checked by default. Because this is our Atlona OCS-900N, it also adds the port number of 9000 automatically. So all you need to add is the IP address of your OCS-900N that is on your network. For our system, that IP address is 192.168.254.162. And we're going to select the Connect button. You will see that the status says Connected. If you're good to go and you want to check that the OCS-900 is selected, you can use the Identify button. This is very useful if you have multiple sensors in a large space, like an auditorium, a cafeteria, or an open office space. If the IP address is incorrect, it will show the error, cannot connect to sense. Please validate IP address and network settings. Plus, it will show not connected under the list of sensors. Now, let's pop back over to our MS42 and log into that device. To check out the OCS-900N occupancy sensor, you can find the sensor under the display, and I will add the IP address of my sensor. Notice that the port 9000 is already entered. The interface shows it as connected and that the room is occupied. That's because my sensor is very close to me and it had some recent motion in the space. If I was in a larger space, I can use the Identify button right here. If I want to control the display based on the occupancy, I would need to enable the on and or the off. Now you can see that the status changed to vacant after the occupancy sensor motion off event expired. For my system, it was set to 3 minutes. That's how we configure the OCS-900N with our line of Omega switchers. For more information on these and all of our Atlona products, check out atlona.com.